A generation ago, Seoul was rarely mentioned in conversations about the world's most desirable travel destinations. Travelers dreaming of Asia usually talked about Tokyo, Bangkok, Hong Kong, Singapore, or Bali. Today, the situation looks very different. Seoul has become one of the most talked about cities on Earth, attracting millions of visitors eager to experience the culture, food, entertainment, technology, and lifestyle that have helped South Korea capture global attention. The transformation has been extraordinary. K-pop, K-dramas, Korean cinema, fashion, beauty products, and social media have introduced Seoul to audiences who previously knew very little about the city. For many travelers, visiting Seoul now feels less like a vacation and more like stepping into a place they already know. They have seen the streets in television dramas, watched performances from famous artists, followed influencers exploring neighborhoods, and built expectations long before boarding a plane. And yet, beneath the excitement surrounding South Korea's tourism boom lies a more complicated reality. The Seoul visitors imagine and the Seoul they actually experience are not always the same. That difference does not make the city disappointing. In many ways, it makes it more fascinating. One of the first surprises for many visitors is the sheer scale of the city. Seoul is not simply a collection of famous tourist attractions connected by a convenient train network. It is a vast metropolitan area stretching across an enormous urban landscape filled with millions of residents. The city feels less like a traditional tourist destination and more like a living, constantly moving organism. Travelers often arrive expecting to spend most of their time in the districts they recognize from social media. Areas such as Myeongdong, Hongdae, Gangnam, and Insadong frequently dominate travel itineraries. These neighborhoods certainly deserve their popularity. They offer shopping, food, nightlife, entertainment, and countless opportunities for exploration. However, they also create an illusion. Visitors sometimes leave believing they have seen Seoul when they have only experienced a small portion of a city far larger and more diverse than expected. The tourism boom has amplified this effect. Large numbers of visitors now concentrate in a relatively small number of highly visible districts. Certain streets become crowded with travelers seeking the same restaurants, cafes, viewpoints, and shopping experiences they discovered online. The result can occasionally feel more international than local. Ironically, some of Seoul's most memorable experiences often occur outside the locations dominating social media feeds. A quiet neighborhood market, a hidden side street restaurant, or a less famous district can sometimes reveal more about the city than its most photographed landmarks. The rise of Korean popular culture has played a major role in shaping visitor expectations. Millions of travelers arrive hoping to experience the Seoul they have seen in dramas and music videos. To some extent, that version of Seoul exists. Stylish neighborhoods, modern architecture, impressive shopping districts, and vibrant nightlife are all very real parts of the city. Yet daily life in Seoul is often far more practical and fast-paced than many visitors anticipate. Behind the glamour exists a city where people work long hours, move quickly, and navigate routines shaped by one of the world's most dynamic economies. This contrast creates one of the hidden realities of Seoul's tourism boom. Visitors often arrive searching for a fantasy while discovering a functioning global city. Food represents another area where expectations and reality sometimes diverge. South Korea's cuisine has become enormously popular internationally. Travelers often arrive with long lists of dishes they hope to try. Korean barbecue, fried chicken, street food, kimchi, noodle dishes, and countless regional specialties generate enormous excitement. Fortunately, Seoul usually delivers. The food scene remains one of the city's greatest strengths. The surprise comes from the sheer variety available. Many visitors discover that Korean cuisine is far more diverse than the handful of dishes that became famous overseas. Entire neighborhoods revolve around specific culinary traditions. Local restaurants serve dishes unfamiliar even to travelers who consider themselves fans of Korean food. The beauty industry has created another powerful tourism driver. Seoul has become one of the world's leading destinations for skincare, cosmetics, and aesthetic treatments. Visitors now travel specifically to explore beauty districts, purchase products, and experience services that have gained global popularity. Medical and wellness tourism continue growing rapidly as international interest increases. This trend contributes significantly to the tourism boom. Yet it also changes the visitor experience. Many travelers now arrive with highly specific goals unrelated to traditional sightseeing. Shopping, skincare, fashion, and lifestyle experiences have become central parts of modern Seoul tourism. Technology creates another interesting dimension. Seoul often feels remarkably futuristic. High-speed connectivity, efficient transportation systems, digital services, and modern infrastructure make daily life convenient in ways many visitors immediately notice. Yet beneath the technology lies a city deeply connected to tradition. Ancient palaces stand among skyscrapers. Historic neighborhoods exist alongside some of the most technologically advanced districts in the world. This coexistence of old and new remains one of Seoul's most compelling characteristics. The city's transportation system frequently becomes one of the biggest surprises for international visitors. The subway network is extensive, reliable, and remarkably efficient. Many travelers quickly realize they can navigate much of the city without relying heavily on taxis or private transportation. This accessibility makes exploring Seoul easier than many first-time visitors expect. Yet, convenience brings another reality. Popular attractions are no longer hidden secrets. Social media and tourism growth have made famous locations easier to find and far more crowded. The same places attracting international attention online are often attracting thousands of visitors in real life. This does not diminish their appeal, it simply changes the experience. A quiet cultural discovery can become a shared experience involving visitors from every corner of the world. Some travelers enjoy that energy. Others find it overwhelming. Cost is another area where perceptions have shifted. South Korea is not generally viewed as a budget destination. While Seoul remains affordable compared to some major global cities, visitors often discover that accommodation, dining, and entertainment costs exceed expectations formed by older travel guides or online assumptions. The city offers excellent value in many areas, but it is not necessarily the bargain destination some first-time visitors anticipate. The tourism boom itself contributes to these changes. Increased demand influences pricing, availability, and visitor experiences across popular districts. What makes Seoul particularly interesting is that the city continues evolving. Neighborhoods change rapidly. New trends emerge constantly. Restaurants open and disappear. Shopping areas rise and fall in popularity. Visitors returning after only a few years often discover a noticeably different city. This constant reinvention keeps Seoul exciting, while making it difficult to define. Perhaps that is the hidden reality behind South Korea's tourism boom. Seoul is not a city standing still while tourists admire it. It is a city moving forward at extraordinary speed. The visitors arriving today are experiencing a destination in the middle of a remarkable transformation. They are not simply observing Seoul. They are witnessing it evolve in real time. That reality can be challenging. It can also be exhilarating. Because despite the crowds, changing trends, rising popularity, and growing international attention, Seoul retains something that many global destinations struggle to preserve. It still feels alive, not curated, not frozen for tourists, not designed entirely around visitor expectations. Seoul remains, first and foremost, a city built for the people who live there. The tourism boom has made it more visible than ever, but it has not fundamentally changed its identity. And perhaps that is why so many travelers leave with memories that differ from what they expected. The city they imagined may not fully exist. The city they discover often proves far more interesting.